All right, so every time we get started, we have what we call a leadership moment. Tom came up with that. What is leadership? Direction. Okay.
Being the example.
Being the example.
Integrity.
Integrity. It's an interesting question, right? You're probably used to being asked, what is a leader? Or what attributes of a leader, or what are attributes of a leader, something like that. But I think most of us, when we think of what is leadership, we probably have one of maybe 2 or 3 different ideas in our head. We might have this idea of a position, right? A position that gets bestowed upon us, whether positively or negatively. We get put into a role, starts with the word director or manager or vice president, or has the word executive in there, something like that. We might also think of leadership in terms of like comparison to others. So many of you are in sales, and so sales leader means that you're ahead of other people, right? You've sold more than other people in the firm. But there is a third style of leadership that I think is really what a real leader is. Maybe I should say it better defines leadership, and it's one who inspires. One who inspires. I can have a role or a title and not inspire anybody. In fact, we've probably all had a boss with a role or a title that, quite frankly, the minute they weren't around, they were not leading us. I can also think of a lot of people whose numbers are great, maybe sales leaders or something of that nature, but they honestly were jerks, right? They weren't somebody that we really looked at as a leader. But here's what's interesting. You don't actually have to have a position or a title to inspire. It's an informal leader.
Call that leading from within the pack.
Yeah, leading from within the pack, informal leadership, leading up sometimes it's called, right? I say that to say, if we're thinking of leadership from the perspective of inspiration, I have a saying that I really like, and that is, a leader's throne is a servant's footstool. A leader's throne is a servant's footstool. What is more inspiring, more impactful, more helpful than the person that just wants to help people? I had somebody ask me the other day, they said, John, I just took over this role 2 weeks ago. I was friends with these guys. Now I'm their boss. And they don't want to listen to me. And every time I come up with an idea, they want to push back and they want to say that I've got a big head or whatever. What do I do? And I said, well, before you start telling them all of your ideas, make sure that they have every reason to know and believe that you care about them. It's really hard to give someone a hard time about their ideas when you know that they want what's best for you. When you know that they've got your best interest at heart. Caring about each other, serving one another, inspiring each other. This is the kind of leadership that doesn't require a role. It doesn't require specific numbers. It doesn't require anything other than we actually look at other people as worthy of dignity and then treat them as such. And when we do that, if we're willing to do that, we will find that we are a leader, whether we ever get the title or not. Because people will look to us and go, hey, Tom, what would you do in this situation? Just because they know Tom cares about them. Hey, what should I do about this? Just because they can tell. So that would be what I would give you as a leadership moment today, is to just recognize that whatever your role is, whether you're a solopreneur, a sales representative, an entrepreneur, or maybe somebody that's scaling a humongous company, or part of giant scaling right now, just care about people. And let them know that. Make sure they have a reason to believe that. A question I like to ask leaders is, do you care about your people? And of course everyone goes, oh yeah, of course I do. And I say, great. What have you done this week that lets them know that? What reason would they give if we ask them? But that's real leadership. It's the inspiration that we have and the inspiration that we give. I'm going to transition directly from the leadership moment today into my quick pitch because unfortunately I need to take off. But I'm going to tell you about why I need to take off and make that my pitch. So I will be taking off because I need to go up to North Carolina today. My team is busy and we're not able to double cover things right now. We can't double because we're all spread out. But today we have session 2 for a new client that we have. We started last week, and they have sites both in South Carolina and North Carolina. And the way that they asked us to serve them is to bounce back and forth each week. Now, one of the things that we at SML do differently than a lot of other training and development organizations is we really recommend more of a drip method of training. And a drip method would be in opposition, I should say, to what I like to call the fire hydrant method. How many of you have gone to 3 days of training? Just got back. How many of you came away from an exciting, maybe motivating, energizing conference with a headache and a sense of dread of what your inbox looked like? That's usually what happens. And not only is that usually what happens, but here's just the reality. As human beings, we don't learn in mass. We learn little by little. If you don't believe me, check out your kids or your grandkids and try to teach them everything all at once and see what they remember tomorrow. And that's when we learn the best. That is the time of life when we can absorb the most. So as humans, as adults, we are going to learn best by little increments, and that's what we mostly offer at SML. We offer a series of trainings. This organization that I'll be heading to in just a moment has signed up for our Foundational Pillars of Leadership course, which is 12 sessions, 1 hour, once a week for 12 weeks. And because we offer everything that we do in a customized way that tries to meet the needs of the organization, in this case, we are going to have instructors either in North Carolina or South Carolina, bouncing back and forth week by week for each of those 12 sessions. It's not always me. Sometimes we've got 3 or 4 instructors here in the South Carolina area, but that is an example of something that we do for organizations that are looking for training. Another interesting thing about this organization is this is not a humongous organization. This organization only has about 30 people. Usually we start at 50. But in this particular case, the organization felt really strongly that they wanted to give their 2 site supervisors in Greenville and their 2 site supervisors in Hendersonville, both, or all 4 of them, this training. And so normally we have a minimum of 5. And so they said, all right, well, we'll have one of our executives go through it too so that we have our 5. And they've brought us in and to do these trainings for them. So we have our ICP, our ideal client profile, right? You look at larger companies that are looking at scaling or looking at mass promotions or things like that. But sometimes we get the opportunity to serve clients that are just really interested in making sure that their frontline leaders have the tools they need to effectively serve. We started them last week. This is week 2 out of 12. We're excited about the opportunity we have to serve them. And if you or anyone you're aware of could use that type of training, feel free to reach out to me. I will have cards before I take off this morning, but I do need to head up the road because that session starts at 10 and it is an hour and 11-minute drive as of last night. I have no idea what it is this morning.
Yeah, it's probably going to be more than that.
Yes, indeed. So my keywords would be leadership, growth, development, training, anything like that. If you're asking or you're hearing people talk about those things, love to talk to them. Tom, thank you so much.